Hey, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
How are you?
Girl, I'm tired. I'm stressed
Say
and
less.
tired.
Say
Tired
less.
and stressed. Stressed and tired. But I'm here.
Right, but we are here another week. So I have rain happening. All the rain is here in Georgia. And so if my internet drops, that's why, folks, because I know y'all like to come for us. Me and Tiff, our internet be acting up. It be a little bit choppy. And so y'all like to give us, a lot of feedback on that matter. So
Leave us alone.
okay, I'm setting it up now that there is a possibility that I will have some technical difficulties due to this rain. Hopefully, I don't, but I just might. Also, for some reason, Instagram was like, nope, y'all can't go live tonight over here. Like, no,
I was just saying that. And it says we're live. And the top it
it's
says we are, but it's not showing up on our IG.
because it's being
Okay.
crazy. It's being crazy, and so we're totally fine with that. So look, if you are someone who normally watches us via Instagram, please visit our YouTube page. It is Hustle and Shine, or go find us on Facebook at Diamond Writers so that you can tune into this conversation live. I promise you do not want to miss this. I know we say that for every episode, right? You hear that all the time. It becomes
And we mean it.
cliche, but we mean it. Like we really mean it. And this particular episode, you don't want to miss. My big brother is here. He is here to drop gems. He is here to do some chin checking, but don't worry, he does it in love. And he is here to give you some hope. That's what I'm gonna say. He here to sprinkle some hope for us ladies of a certain age out here in this dating pool.
Okay.
But before we get into that, I am your host, Natima Cherie, Queen Pen of TGI and the Diamond Writers.
And it's your girl Mel V, the MV pen.
And this is the Hustle and Shine podcast. Our lovely co-host, the Fionix, is taking a much-deserved break tonight. So definitely send her some love and send her some gems and jewels and flowers, all of those things in the comments.
All of it.
She worked so hard for this show. It's so much that we do behind the scenes that you don't get to see. And so she is definitely deserving of her break tonight. We got some good things happening here in the Transparent Gem Inc. community and family. First off, we have a new publication dropping in just 2.5 weeks. It's crazy. Oh my God. Four. Okay, just 3 fours. Huh?
I said 444. Like, I can't believe we're on book 4.
I can't either. It's insane. It's insane. I was just telling Carl backstage that during this process in particular, I wanted to fight both our editor and our the person who does the book format. I forget his official title, like the creator.
Mm-hmm.
But Carl was like, "But that just means they're doing their job well." And I was like, "See, perspective. That's
why we want to fight. You be wanting to fight them for every book. It's okay.
I really do. But that was on my nerves this time. I was like, just do what I want and let's go. But the book is amazing. I actually get to do a reveal tomorrow of our book cover. Some of my leaders obviously have already seen it. They have a seat at the table as a leadership council member, but for our general community, they did not yet see the cover and all the things. And so I'm so excited to share that tomorrow. But make sure on April 30th, that's a Tuesday, April 30th, we will be dropping our 4th publication in our 4th year of existence or community in 2024. So make sure y'all go support that 444 movement on April 30th. And then that following Sunday, what date is that? May, do the math. What is that?
May 3rd?
What is that? 3rd?
May 5th. May 5th.
Huh?
May 5th.
May 5th. Okay, on May 5th, y'all join us. We will be doing a virtual launch where I will be interviewing our amazing diamond writers and contributing authors for the newest book she is. So don't miss that. Okay, don't miss that. Now, anything else that we have going on that we need to share?
In the diamond writer community, let me think. I mean, stay tuned. We got a couple of events that's going to be coming up later on in 2024. I know y'all been hounding us and getting on us, asking us where we going to be at, when y'all can come see us. So we got a couple of events in the works. So if you're not subscribed to the website, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, you need to go ahead and do that so you can get notifications. If you ain't got your Diamond Writer merch, you slipping. So I need you to hop on over to the Sparkle Market, Sparkle Shop, Sparkle Market. It's too much sparkle. One of them.
Shop.
Sparkle shop. Hop over to the sparkle shop and get your merch and get your Diamond Rider stuff. Get you a journal so you can write. Get you a shirt. Get you a bag. You got all kind of goodies over there. So
All
I
the
gotta help
things.
over there.
All the things. Yes.
All the
Thank you, Mel. Look at all the
things. Yeah.
things. But we have a really dope show, so we're going to get it started. We actually do not have a sip and shine or a sober up because we felt like we needed the entirety of tonight to discuss this topic. So our topic tonight is, there's no drum roll. We need some sound effects. I'm gonna get us some sound effects, but it is called there is pee in the dating pool, but y'all are gonna fill in the butt. Y'all are gonna fill that in tonight. You're gonna hear some advice. You're gonna hear some best practices. You're gonna hear some stuff about you that will help you to fill in the butt. So before I waste any more time talking about the topic without our special guest, let's go ahead and bring him out. The one and the only accountability coach, my big bro, Carl. Oh, let's fix that.
Oh, you muted.
That's all right.
There we go. Hey, how you doing, ladies? Good.
Hey.
Good. Thank you for having me on.
Welcome to the show.
Change this camera angle real quick. Let me go ahead.
We
get a
see
little
you
closer.
are always on the grind.
Always.
I am. I gotta make that money.
Period.
I gotta make that money and take care of my honey.
I love it. Exactly. No, we so appreciate you for being on this platform with us. We have had the pleasure, both Mel and I have worked with you on DBDS. We've worked with you and really just hear your wisdom and your passion for community and really helping us to do better. Helping us to do better as it relates to dating and relationships, love, marriage, love after divorce, all the things. So before we get into tonight's subtopics, we would love for you to take a few minutes to really just acquaint our gems and gents with who you are, what you do, and why you are here to contribute tonight.
Absolutely. So as you said, Carl the coach, originally from New York, just recently transplanted to Houston, Texas, where I walked into a destiny of love situation, and I might dive into that later on. Wasn't the intent, but I got smacked with it, and I'm happy with it. So, but yes, and then I've coached men and women, couples. I've actually done pastoral counseling for 20 years, and I became a certified coach after my divorce. And I did it because, and I've been doing this almost 4.5 years. I did it because I didn't see anybody look like me. So everybody I went to and talked to looked like a woman, or they were not, my ethnicity. So I just, my actual therapist said, "Hey, you would be a good coach." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." And I started out helping a friend going through a situation with his marriage, and it's grown since then. So I've done conferences. I've helped co-author a book. You Say You Love Me, but Do You Respect Me? It is a phenomenal book. I read it. This is my copy, so you can see the pages all bent and everything on it. But I love it. And it's a lot even in there for men to learn, but a lot for women. I think my sister team said it best. It is a cheat code for women to learn a lot of stuff. And I know a lot of people may say, "Oh, well, he need to respect me first. He need to..." Look, somebody's got to go first. Somebody's got to go first, and that's a philosophy. We'll dive more into that tonight. And I'm just here, like I said, to drop some gems and to help those that need to want to be helped. I can't help you unless your heart's open to be helped. So that's the main thing. And I know my sisters, they got a phenomenal platform what they're doing. I again appreciate y'all having me on here, but they can't help you if you don't want to be helped.
That part.
Thank you. Let them know. So real quick, y'all go ahead first. Turn your cups right side up. Go ahead. If your cup is down, go ahead and turn your cup right, because we ain't about to be pouring tonight if you ain't looking to receive, and it just our wisdom just splashing all over your table. So go ahead and start by putting your cup up right, okay, so that you can receive and be poured into. But also, I need you to go like, share, and subscribe right now. Go ahead, real quick. We're gonna get, because y'all know better. Every week we ask this. And
all your sister girls that's complaining that they can't get a man or keep a man, tell them to come on here. All your homeboys, they women, you like, what are you dating her? Go ahead and tell him to come on here. All of them. If you're in a relationship and you kind of like this, seem a little. Come on, get on here. Yeah.
Come on through. So again, Carl, thank you so much for being here with us. We know that you're going to share a lot. We're looking forward to your wisdom. I always learn something from you. As Carl mentioned, the book is like that. I'm not just saying that because that's my big brother and I respect him greatly. I'm saying it because I'm a reader, an avid reader, and I read that book. It is the cheat code. These men are vulnerable, authentic, transparent, candid, and they truly want to help. So get your hands on the book. We will drop the link in the comments later. Go order that book, read it, receive it, ingest it, and then let it bless you. All right. So tonight we are talking about, what's our topic, Mel?
There's pee in the dating pool.
It is.
But.
Okay, there's some buts, right? And so we do have some subtopics that we want to dive into. The first one we're gonna get into tonight, I thought was really good for us to kind of set a standard, set the conversation, set the tone, and that is, should you be dating? I think this is a question that both men and women need to be asking themselves. And let me just preface this before we get into the conversation. We are talking to people who are in the midst of their healing journey, have recently initiated their healing journey, and want a partner who is of substance and who is in likeness to where they are in life. That's the cleanest way I can say it, because y'all know I'm being delivered from my mouth, right? So please don't be in our DMs talking about, oh, dating is not one size fits all. We know that. We know that better than anybody. Dating is not one size fits all, especially dating advice. But we believe that we can help a subset of men and women who are serious about dating, who are dating to reach marriage and partnership, not to build a roster. All right. So real quick, I want to let you know a few things about yourself that you should not be dating if you fall into any of this. And this is not judgment. This is just perspective. Okay. If you are currently playing side ninja or side chick to other people, you shouldn't be dating. Okay. If you are still sleeping with an ex or baby mama, baby daddy, y'all know all that, you shouldn't be dating. Okay. If you just got out of a serious long-term relationship less than 3 months ago, you shouldn't be dating. If you are still using a list to assess and rate potential mates, that criteria, those unrealistic expectations, things that you can't even reciprocate, you shouldn't be dating. And then lastly, if you have a roster, get your out the dating pool. Okay, you shouldn't be dating. All right. So with that said, I'm gonna come to my brother.
I feel like I got 2 more to add to that list, but go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
I was like, there's 2 more. 2 more to add to this. If you have not figured out yourself, what you like, what you don't like, and who you are without somebody else, you shouldn't be dating. And if you're not prepared to bring to the table all the things you expect to be on the table, you probably shouldn't be dating.
Okay. You shouldn't be dating.
Those are my other 2.
Yeah. And so, Carl, we want to come to you because, again, in all seriousness, I know I have a tone of comedy and humor, but seriously, I think we don't realize how being in those spaces and then stepping into the dating pool is disrupting the date. This is why there's pee in it, because y'all shouldn't even be in here if you are in any of those categories. So we would love to hear from you, bro. What's your take on when a person should be ready to date versus not?
Yeah, I think another one is if you're married, whether you're married and separated. See, separated's become the new single, and it's not. You're still married.
Yep.
You're still in covenant. You're still in connection. So if you're still married, you shouldn't be dating. And if you're just coming out of a marriage, especially if you've been married longer than 5 years, and I'm gonna use that mark, you shouldn't date for over a year. It will take you that long. I actually talked to a therapist, and she said you need 2 months for every 2 years you're married.
Wow.
To recover. And so So listing all the different things that you guys said that, getting out there. The problem a lot of people do is, is this old saying, the way to get over one relationship is to get under another one. All you're doing is feeding your inner self, your flesh, and I mean your inner self being penetrated. That's what you're looking for. Something to penetrate your flesh that's not going to get you what you got to get to. So you need to get something that's actually, you got to get to your heart core. You got to figure out what's going on. Because one of the things I continue to see with people I work with is when I ask them, write down the characteristics of all the guys you dated, all the women you dated. And then I can sit there and put it on the board and they'll look at it. And I said, you've dated the same woman or the same man in a different body. They look different, whether they're light skinned, dark skinned, tall, short, fat, skinny, don't matter. You end up dating literally by listing the characteristics of what you continue to look for. And this is why a lot of people end up staying single on top of that, because they're wanting the same thing, not realizing that the same thing continues to lead you into the people. You go back to the same thing. So instead of looking for fresh water, you're drinking piss water. So that's where people have to understand, hey, if I want fresh water, I got to heal. And like you said, the list, tear the list up and throw the list away. Hey, I'm gonna keep it real. When I got after my divorce and I got out there, I put a whole checklist together. And I was just running into toxicity left and right, my own self. And I said, okay, tear it up. I'm done. And the moment I tore my list up, I had better options. And then I'm in my situation, the relationship I'm in now was definitely not a list that she would definitely want to checked off the boxes on my list. And I don't mean that in a negative way. She actually ended up checking the list that I couldn't see because I was going on my own list. I had to get rid of the page on top that Carl wanted and tear it off and get to the page God had for me. There was a big difference there. And that's why I'm receiving what I am. But yeah, that's a problem. You if you want to be out there, you got to go heal. And that doesn't mean look at a meme and say you healed, watch one video and you healed. You go to one therapy session and you like, okay, you can't be out here running around coming out of a relationship and saying, well, I'm just going to do hot girl summer or I'm going to do hot boy summer. No, you can't do that. Because all you're doing is neglecting the work. And a lot of times it's taking a look in the mirror, understanding what you did wrong. Because again, we're at fault even in our relationships, whether we did 1% or 10% or 90%, we're still at fault somewhere in the relationship failing because we picked that person. We chose to be with that person. So now you get out here, but if you come out the wrong way, all you're doing is infecting the pool. You're causing a bigger problem. You're causing a bigger ripple. You're causing more chaos because you're looking for something. Again, you will never, and I posted this a couple of days ago, you can't fill yourself spiritually, your spiritual wound, with material things. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're looking to fill that wound with dates, sex, be on these dating sites and stuff. You can't do that, And again, and back to the married people, and this is why I tell people too, it's dangerous dating a married person because at any given moment, the tide could turn and that couple gets back together. And now you're heartbroken because more than likely that person's going to choose their spouse if they got some time together. And they can work it out. So that's why I say if you're married, you don't need to be dating. And if you're dating, you need to verify if that person's married. I mean, hey, I need to see, the divorce decree. I need to, because again, it's tough out here. You got to ask those qualifying questions so you don't end up getting your feelings hurt. And again, I'll give an example for me. When I first came out with divorce, I thought I was ready to date, and I literally was with someone, wonderful person. I realized though I was going to destroy her.
Wow.
And so I had to hurt her to tell her we can't be together right now. I'm not ready. Versus me destroying her. She was upset, but I'd rather that than for me to tear her apart when I wasn't ready to date.
Wow. That is so good. I was talking to a friend of mine. We were reading a book together, and I can't remember which book it was because I read a million books, but the author was talking about how pain makes us selfish. But when we begin to heal, it opens up our capacity for others. And so that's the part most folks don't get to. Everyone assumes that they left a relationship unscathed or untouched, or I wasn't hurt, or you. Even if you were the aggressor, even if you were the cheater, even if you're the one who initiated the divorce, there is still pain that comes from that breakup. And when you don't take the time to deal with that and to heal from that, you are the reason there's piss in the pool. And I really want that part, us to do better at holding one another accountable. Tell your girlfriends and your homeboys, if you have not done that work on yourself, if you have not given yourself time to grieve that the ending of that relationship, get your out the dating pool. You don't belong here, because that's how people drown. You over in 6 feet, knowing you need inner tubes and staying by the 3 feet. Like, what you doing over here? You not even supposed to be here. So Mel, I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna come to you.
No, I agree.
Should you be dating if you're not ready?
No, you don't. And I mean, so we like to play devil's advocate a little bit. Now, if you just out here for entertainment, and that's where you're at, and that's what you want right now, you're not trying to date, you just want to be entertained, then do you. But don't pretend that you're out here trying to date. Because what you'll do is if you're honest about the fact that you're just trying to be entertained, you will attract the people that only want to be entertained.
Yep.
And y'all could be in the kiddie pool.
Yep.
And you could be in the kiddie pool all day, because we all know kids don't be getting out of the pool. They just be, so you could be in the kiddie pool peeing it up all day, and y'all could be over there together. But get out the grown-up pool.
Yes.
Okay, like you trying to be in 6 feet, and you really just trying to tread 3 feet. So go over there to the kiddie pool. Get out the big people pool. Go in the kiddie pool. Yeah. So I'll say that. So let's differentiate that. Mm-hmm. It's dating and just wanting to be out there and be social and be free are two different things. So we're not saying if you hopped out the relationship, you just got to be home by yourself. If that's not what you want, cool. Mm-hmm. Be free, have fun, live your best life, have your hot girl summer, have your hot boy, whatever you want to call it, but do it in the other pool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't be over here perpetuating the fraud and fronting like, oh yeah, knowing that that's not what you want. Mm-hmm. So that's one. But if you are really serious about finding a life partner and finding someone to build a life with, then you need to come into the situation fully prepared. Yeah. And if you fit into any of these categories that Carl and myself and the team have mentioned, then you absolutely shouldn't be dating yet, because one, all you're going to do is further prolong your timeline of finding that person. That part.
Yep.
You're going to then also create a bunch of soul ties that are going to take you longer to break. Because we talk about scars and damages and all that stuff, but then you also got to account for soul ties. Because every time you lay in a bed and share a bed with somebody, you're taking a piece of their energy, their soul, it comes with you. And it takes time to release and break those soul ties. Yeah. So now you hopped out of this relationship, hopped in a bed with this person. So guess what? Now you taking a bit of you, a bit of them, and bring it out to this person. So now you leave, you got you and two other people that you taking with you. And every time you jump in, you bring in more people.
Yep.
So by the time you get to the person that could have been your soulmate, you got a whole menage a trois happening in your spirit. You got a whole orgy of spirits happening in you. Because you ain't had a minute to cleanse yourself and get yourself right and remove these energies. And now you meet this person who want to date you, but he or she got to date you and the 7 other people that come with your spirit.
Yep.
That's not fair to them.
Nope.
And so now you've messed yourself up, because now you have met the one that meets all this stuff. And because you didn't do the work to get yourself together, you've now ruined that and have set yourself so far back in your time frame or whatever, or God's time frame, because we operate outside of God's time, and we get mad at God to be like, oh, it's been 5 years. God, why is it taking so long?
Yep.
He ain't taking so long as you. He put the stuff there for you, but you didn't took a left, took a right, busted a U-turn, went around the block, got off the wrong exit. So it's your fault why it's taking you so long to get to there. But then we get mad at God.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've been out here looking for my soulmate for 5 years and I can't find him yet. You probably found him.
Yeah.
You probably found him. You probably walked right past him, but because you weren't ready and weren't in a position to receive him, God had to push him out the way, and now you still running around the block trying to find somebody you could have found 2 years ago had you just taken that 1 year or 6 months or whatever it was to really get yourself together, cleanse out all the dirt, cleanse out all the muck, cleanse out all the gook in your pool,
In yours, exactly.
in your pool. Because it's like, you go in the pool and they tell you when you get out, they tell you to rinse your feet off before you get in, so you don't bring all the dirt and the sand in the pool. We don't stop by the shower. We done ran right from the beach, all the sand up there, jumped in the water. Now you done brought all that stuff into this new situation. So no, like you shouldn't be dating. Not if you're dating with the intent of finding a healthy, nurturing, God-fearing, long-term relationship.
Right. Exactly. You
need not to. You need to get yourself together.
Mm-hmm.
Like Carl said, and clear that stuff out, because it can be misconstrued in what you really want, because you stuck yourself in this pigeonhole of the list and the characteristics of the people that you so-called want to date.
Right.
And so because you haven't figured that out of your mind, you keep running into the same wall. And I learned from me and my mantra a long time ago, when people kept asking me, like, do I regret stuff? And I'm like, I don't, because everything I've gone through is a lesson. Yep. But I've learned that the reason why I keep running into the same things because I haven't learned the lesson that I was supposed to learn. So when you go to school, until you meet all the criteria to pass the class, you got to keep taking it.
Yep.
Until you learn what you need to learn to pass the class. And it's the same thing. If you keep hitting the same things in your relationships over and over and over again, then you haven't learned what you need to learn to pass this phase of the game. Like you still on round 1 of Street Fighter. You can't get to the next level because you have not learned how to beat the level.
Right. That is so good. I swear, Mel, I think we share brain, because I swear to you, in my notes, I had smash responsibly, because so many of us are out here creating soul ties and not connections, wondering why we end up in textationships and situationships, because you're not building connection. You just building a soul tie. You just out here sleeping and opening yourself up energetically. What does our brother call it, Carl? STEs, sexually transmitted energy. Like y'all just y'all just out here capturing and grabbing and you know what I'm saying. And so the last point I want to make before I come back to you, Carl, is when we are serious about dating, and we're going to actually move into that topic in just a moment. When we are serious about dating, it requires us to do some healing work and inner work and shadow work and all the titles for that work, that introspective work, because when you do the work, you become more self-aware, and self-awareness does help you to date better. Your appetite for certain men, your appetite for attention is not the same. Some of y'all, when you learn yourselves, you're going to put more damn clothes on. I promise you. I promise. When you get to know yourself and you know your values and you know what's great about you, you realize the assets you've been flaunting really have nothing to do with your dopeness. So you're going to start putting some clothes on, and you're going to date different. You're not going to invite every type of energy and man into your space. You are going to have better boundaries. So do the inner work. So Carl, I want to come back to you on this, should you date, why or why not, before we move on to the second subtopic. Anything you wanted to add before we move on?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is people need to get to a place of, when you get to a place that you're comfortable being single, that's the time that you should date. It is a difference when you're comfortable being single. See, I know a lot of people do the whole, I'm gonna be single. I'd rather be single than do this. A lot of times that's from the inability or unwillingness to take accountability for their own actions. Yeah. But when you really get to a place that you're comfortable being by yourself, you've dated yourself, you're comfortable, all that area, that's the time to go into a relationship, because you can vet better at that point in time. Yeah. And like you said, this whole smash and grab and go and freestyle in the club and sex and all this other stuff, all you're doing is destroying yourself. Mm-hmm. And because when you get to a place, especially, I say this even especially for men, when you get to a place where you've got dick control, excuse me on saying that, but when you got that, and you begin to understand your manhood and what your manhood means, you are one of the most dangerous men around. because you're emotionally sound, you're mentally sound, and
Yep.
you're physically sound. And now it's going to take the right woman to get that from you. Every
Yep.
woman that walks past you with a big button of smile is not going to pull that from you. It's going to take a special woman to get your manhood from you.
Period. Period. All that was good, bro. I love it. Dick control. Y'all need to practice that because it's not always just the women. It's the men too. It's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
the men too. So real quick, I just want to give some shout outs and some love to those who are with us tonight. Tiffany, the Phoenix, we see you in the comments. Hey, Joy, she says, preach, Carl. We see you in the comments. Good evening, Daisha. We see you in the comments. Thanks for being here. Hi, Lakeisha. Great point, she says. Thanks for being here. What's up, brother? Tramel is in the building. Hey,
Yes.
let's go. Yes, it takes time to break those soul ties. Agreed, agreed. Thanks so much for being here, bro. We appreciate you. Good to see you. All right, so we are going to jump into the second topic, and that is dating with purpose. There are so many dating and relationships influencers, love and relationship influencers out here. They're just giving some of the most corrupt, misguiding advice I've ever heard in my life. Like, it honestly perpetuates the issues in our community as it relates to love and relationships and divorce and relatability, even friendships. Our thinking is has been decayed by social media. I don't care what anyone says. You can come for me in the DMs if you like. I'm not even on social media, so you're talking to yourself. But I said what I said. These influences that y'all love that have become your bishop, they are misguiding you. And that's why most of you are in a perpetual state of dating and not moving into courtship or marriage. This is exactly why y'all are becoming more and more bitter and broken because of this horrible advice. So, from someone who actually has evidence of doing the healing work and then meeting someone that I ain't gonna speak for you. Carl, please tell the people the benefits of dating with purpose. Please let them know.
I first off, I agree with you with these internet sensation relationship people. I give it that way. And you can tell the good, you can tell the ones of value. And here's the thing: most of them will teach you how to get into a relationship. They don't teach you what a healthy relationship looks like, and they don't teach you how to strive for marriage. Many of them have never been married. Many have never been on the battlefield and understand what marriage takes and what work that goes with that.
Right.
And then a lot of them about their pockets. So that's a big issue in itself there. But dating with a purpose and date, for me, I always said I wanted to be married. I always tell people I was born to be a husband. I was never born to be a boyfriend. And I lived that. I've always operated in a husband role. I mean, when I was in high school, I was talking marriage. People thought I was crazy, but most guys did not talk about marriage in high school. But it didn't matter. I mean, I still said, "Hey, I'm going to be married one day." But that's the way I move. And so, meeting as I was going in this dating journey, and I would go out and I'd meet people and meet women. If they were not aligning with me, was no need to continue the conversation. So, if their marriage wasn't the goal or they were looking for fun, I mean, that wasn't the thing for me at all. So I had to decide what is it that I really want? I want marriage. And then what is it from that person? What do I need? Because 50-year-old Carl and 20-year-old Carl are two different things. And see, as we get older and we really mature and we understand what we need and what we can give, now you got to put that together. And then
Right.
you can begin to find a person. And I dated according to those lines. I mean, no checklist, but I dated along those lines. I listened. I learned to vet better. I learned to speak my mind up. Where sometimes he's like not going to say nothing. No, I had to speak my mind up and say, okay, I don't like this. I don't, and that allowed me to progress into the relationship I'm in. To meet this individual, and she's dynamic, fabulous, awesome, stupendous, loving, caring. You know, but I dated, from date one, and it's funny. I laugh. We have an anniversary day from when we started officially dating, but we've been together from day one that we met. And so we were both dating with a purpose.
Yeah.
She had that intent. I asked her what that meant to her. She got it from me, and we've been rolling since then. But that's when you got mature adults who understand this is what I want. No games, no nothing. Um, the respectfulness that comes from the relationship, all these different things. So when you're dating that way and with a purpose and a guy, going that direction, you don't have all other foolishness that I see on social media. Um, all this, I'm not going to go here and eat, or all this, this has got to be paid for. Oh, she better give this if I pay for this. You don't. That's not real. And I think a lot of people have been sucked into what's that's more like uh, the real Housewives of Atlanta type of stuff. Fake, almost reality TV dating is what we're seeing on social media. It's not a
Exactly.
purpose. Most
Right.
people don't understand what that looks like, and so that's why I always
Right.
ask people, "What is your end game? What is your goal? What are you looking for?" You know, and can you do you re- and can And Mel said it. Can you provide the same table you're asking? That you're looking to eat from. Can you set that same table? Can you fix
Right.
what's on that table? And I think a lot of people struggle with that. Or they say yes, but they don't even know what it is.
Right.
So I always tell people because I'm dating the right person. Even when she gives me constructive criticism, she pulls me in. She doesn't cause me to walk away.
Mm.
There's a difference with that. So you have to know all those things have got to align, and you're dating for the right reason. You can't just be out here going for dinner dates and booty dates and whatever you're looking for. Those are not going to get you there. What is
Right.
your end game? If you just want to be, hey, look, if you just want to be a 403, 304, you can pick whichever area code you want to be. If that's what you want to be, go be that. Go be the best one.
Right.
But if you want to, and like Mel said, go to the kiddie pool. But if you want to be in a serious relationship, then that takes serious work to get
Yeah.
there, and you got to
Yeah.
have serious conversations from day one with that
Mhm.
person. And I know people say date them all, date multiples, all this other stuff. I'm telling you, people say dating to collect data. They're setting y'all up for failure.
They
It's
are.
it's just I'm not seeing anybody making it work doing that.
Right. Right. Thanks for that, bro. Because my question to those people are, how's that working out for you? How's that working out for you? We are literally allowing social media influencers and social media memes and reels and trends. It is corrupting our character because you're no longer being yourself. You are emulating what everyone's telling you you should be. Why can't you show up to the date as yourself? If you're a gentleman, don't worry about nobody calling you a simp. They can't appreciate a gentleman. You shouldn't be on a date with them anyway.
Right.
If you are a woman of standard and you have boundaries and they're saying that you know what I'm saying, that you weak and you whack it up, okay, well then we're not supposed, because the man that dates with the same caliber that you do, he's going to be drawn to you. Stop attracting all the fuck boys. Excuse my mouth. Stop attracting them, which means you need to change something in you. I was watching Insecure again. I swear I could watch that over and over again. And I remember the character Lawrence was dating this girl, and she said, "What's worse about you is that you are a fuck boy who thinks he's a good guy." And there's
Mm.
so many of them out here like that. And many of them started off as the good guy, but they allowed the influences of their peers, they allowed social media, they allowed these trends, they allowed loneliness to disrupt the path they were on. And so they started settling. But now you have women who are low hanging fruit and wondering why she can't hold a conversation, wondering why she can't cook a real meal, wondering why she's combative and argumentative and more masculine than you, because you changed what you were looking for to accommodate what everyone else told you you wanted. So I'm gonna come to you, Mel. Dating with purpose, like what does that look like out here for people of a certain age? We ain't talking to the young folk, we're talking to grown folk. Uh-oh. We can't hear you, Mel. Did your mic die? Not yet.
Hello?
There we go. Welcome back.
My lapel mic was like, I quit.
Right.
It's a hater.
She like, I'm out. Nah.
Right. I think I kind of want to address this the dating with the purpose from a little bit of an angle. So as y'all were talking about these social media influencers and using that as your guide, I think we also have to stop this comparison of these relationships. So like everybody was like, and I can't speak for men because I'm not a man, so I'm gonna speak from the woman's perspective. But you had women that were out here and was like, oh, I want me a Barack. And I wanna I wanna do Sierra's prayer because I want, what's her man name again?
Russell.
I want me a Russell, and I want a Boaz. And they were going through all of this stuff of what they want, right? But at no point did you stop to evaluate the type of woman you need to be to not only obtain that type of man, but to sustain that type of man. Because you can play fool's gold and catch him, maybe, but you're not going to sustain that. And so I think we need to differentiate, or women need to understand that there is a very big difference between a high earning man and a high value man.
Mm-hmm.
So you get out here and I want a man that makes 6 figures and I want that. That's great. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's a high value man.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you want a high value man who very well may or may not come with a substantial high earning, but he'll be able to do what he needs to do because he's a man of value. So he knows what that means to be a man in a relationship. Mm-hmm. But if you want that and you're dating with the purpose of obtaining that, you also need to understand what that comes with. And then now you need to ask yourself, are you able to support him in his peace, his legacy, and his portfolio? Because a high value man is going to have ambition and goals and vision and dreams and things. And so you can't want to support one part of that and not all of that, because he's going to come with all of that. So you're going to have to be able to support his peace in them days when he's stressed the hell out. You're going to have to be able to support his legacy, because a high value man is thinking about what he's leaving behind, what he's creating for you, what he's creating for your family, what he's creating for all of that. And then his portfolio, because he's not going to be sitting at home doing one thing.
That part. And
so y'all dating with this purpose of, I want to find this caliber of man and this type of man, and want a high value man, but you have yet to position yourself to be a high value woman. And so your dating with purpose has to align. Who you are has to align with what you're looking for.
Right.
So this dating with purpose is 2 things. It's not only what you're looking for, it's how you show up.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
In dating with purpose, because you can say, I want this person, this is what I'm looking for, and I'm only out here dating because I'm trying to find me a husband. But if you show up as the side chick,
that part,
you self-defeat in your own purpose, because you're not showing up in what you're dating and looking for.
That part.
You know what I mean? If you're showing up and saying you want a man who has ambition and has drive and he's an entrepreneur, has all these businesses, but every time he doesn't have 36 hours in a day to spend with you, you upset. You didn't show up, because it's no ambitious, successful man can sit at home with you all day.
Nope.
He can't sit up underneath you. And so you have to understand, if that's what you want, when you step into this, you have to come into the understanding that I'm going to have to be somewhat flexible in my understanding of the type of partner that I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. And so social media, as you said, influences, or all these things that put out there and the things you see that look pretty, we're just running after the pretty. And so I'm dating for that.
Right.
I'm dating for that. And it's like you're in Target. I want that. I'm dating for that. I'm dating for this. I'm dating for that. But you went to Target and you didn't check the balance on your Target credit card.
Right.
So you done went through the aisles and picked all this stuff out and got to the cash register and can't afford it.
Right.
Can't afford none of it, because you didn't check yourself. So in this dating with purpose thing, we really have to be conscious of, like I said, not just what we're looking for, but how we're showing up in this. And are we in a position to date with the purpose and the intent that we want?
Right.
If you can't, it's okay. but be realistic with yourself and what you're looking for and what you want, and then where you are in that process.
Right. And
Because we be out here wanting things, and you want, you know what I'm saying, these women, I want me a Barack, honey. You know the type of woman you gotta be? You know the type of woman you gotta be to be a Michelle?
right.
Do you understand? Do you understand what that takes? Because if not, you might meet Barack, but he gonna walk right past you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He might entertain you, but I promise you, a man of a high value man, and same value, a high value woman, within a good 10-15 minutes of a conversation with you, they're gonna be able to know whether or not you can even remotely continue to entertain their time or not.
Yep.
Because your conversation is gonna be different.
Mm-hmm.
What you talk about is going to be different. How you talk about it is going to be different.
Your presentation is going to be different. The
Yes.
way you showed up,
The way you showed up,
be different. Yep.
And it's like not even to like knock what you were saying about women like putting more clothes on. Not to say that automatically if a woman shows up and she got cleavage out, that automatically disqualifies her.
Right. Right.
But what's going to happen is when he comes to talk to you, is your cleavage the only thing that you have to present?
Right. Right.
Is your cleavage talking more than you are?
Right. Right.
That's where the problem comes in. And so many of you use that as your bait.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want a high value man, and same thing for men. You know, you come in and you have this, you know, you have the flashy car, you got the jewelry and the big this, and you come in and you're just showing everything out because you want a high value woman. And then you meet this high value woman and you have nothing to talk about. Your conversation is broke.
Mm-hmm.
You rich, but your conversation is in poverty.
That part.
Right.
That part.
And so we got a really one I think differentiate for both. High value, high earning, two different things.
Two different things.
So determine if that's what you want. If you just want to be a housewife and you're looking for somebody that's gonna pay all the bills, then go ahead and get you a high earning man.
Mm-hmm.
And you could live the real housewives of whatever county that it's in, because all of them have high earning men.
Mm-hmm. They all have sponsors.
I've yet to see one on there that I would consider high value.
Right.
Right.
That part.
I agree.
That's so good, Mel. That is so good. Really quick, Carl, before I come back to you, Tiffany posed such a great question. She said, you know, what are we talking about dating with purpose? What are we referring to as purpose, meaning the outcome? When we say date with purpose, and when I say we, meaning the show, this platform, we're referring to, like Carl said, an end game, an end goal. Is that marriage? Is that, you know, common law marriage? Maybe you don't want to, you know, have the legal marriage. You just want to live with somebody for the rest of your life, whatever that is. But it means that you're not just serial dating. Like your goal is not to just be a serial dater and have pieces and parts of people throughout your life, but you intend to meet one person that you can build partnership with, someone that you truly want to be with, and not necessarily chase that superficial part of relationships that most of us are blinded by. I think a lot of people like the idea of a healthy relationship, but have no desire to do the work for that. Like they have zero desire to actually work on a healthy relationship, because first it requires for you to be whole, and then you'll attract a whole man. And as Mel said, to keep a whole man, you have growth has to be continual. Like it ain't, oh, I've arrived, I've done my healing work. No, it's something that you have to constantly work at. And so that's what we mean, Tiffany. Thank you for that question. That was a great question. So before we move on to the final topic that I desperately want to discuss to help somebody tonight, Carl, was there anything else that you wanted to add on dating with a purpose? And shout out to my sister in love. We can't wait to meet you. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, so yeah, it's just really, I mean, Mel really hit the nail on the head when she started talking about the high value versus high earning. I think a lot of people get confused on that. And truly, I mean, if your man is with you all day long, then that's probably a man that has no purpose. I will literally tell women, if you're dating a man, you're considering dating a man, if he cannot give you a vision and a 5-year plan, you need to walk away. I have no problem telling women that if that man does not have a vision and a 5-year plan to reach that vision, you don't need to be with him. The flip side is to the men, if she does not align with her vision, if she comes in telling you what she's going to do and her vision does not line up with your vision, she's not for you. Because a woman, for you to be able to lead as a man, your vision has to be front and center. Women, this is no knock. This is not putting you on the back burner. Your vision helps his vision because he can't lead if he's leading by your vision because it's your vision. And I think some people miss out on that aspect of stuff when they're out here. So when you're dating with a purpose, and again, that's what you said it. The end game, it's like the question was asked. What is your end game? If you're dating for a boyfriend, if you're over 21, you shouldn't be dating for a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You should be trying to make a decision on what you're really looking for, whether it's marriage, or a common law life partner, or you just want to be a 403. I mean, that's your choices at that point in time. So you have to decide what you're looking for. What is your end game? What you're dating, your purpose of it. What are you out there for? Like I only date women that I would consider being a wife. If she does not, and I don't have to talk to you more than 30 minutes, and I'll know whether you have wife-like qualities. Because how you present yourself, how you open your mouth, and what you say in them first 30 minutes is all I need to know. And if you don't get a second date, and again, don't mean you're not a wife. You're just not mine.
That part. That part. That is so good. That is so good. Oh, I hope y'all catching all these gems tonight. These are free. I mean, these are free. I know they don't sound all cliche and trendy and all the things, but that is invaluable wisdom coming from both Mel and Carl. So I hope that y'all are catching that. So Marlene, thank you for being here. We see you in the comments. Hey Daisha, again, we see you in the comments. Thank y'all so much. So I want to move into our last topic. I know people are probably going to misunderstand what I mean by this open mind, closed legs. Just to bring some clarity on what we mean by that. We are women and men of a certain age. We are not saying that you are not going to desire to sleep with somebody attractive. That's not. So don't go out here saying, Tima telling everybody to be celibate. That's not what I'm saying. That's your personal choice. Now, if that's what God places on your heart, that's for you. What this particular subtopic means is we're asking or encouraging you to spend more time vetting the person that you're dating. I'm not saying you can't bust it wide open, sis, if that's what you desire, honey. But oftentimes we do that before we really know the person. And then we're stigmatized, and then we're no longer making good decisions about the relationship. He shows you who he is, and then you don't believe him because you are distracted by the 8.5 inches. Okay. And I'm trying to keep it clean. Okay. Because it's so important that we spend just as much time outside the bedroom, having those deep conversations, asking those difficult questions, like giving him opportunities to show you that he has emotional intelligence or that he's even emotionally available. That's something that many of you miss. It goes right over your head. Like, how did you not know this man was emotionally unavailable? How? Because you spent too much time on your back. So we want you to spend more time vetting the person. That's what we mean by open your mind and close your legs for just a little while, just until you really understand who you are dating. Who is the person sitting across from you? Who is the man laying next to you, if that's where you at? And so I want to come to you again first, Carl. Why is it important? I really want to speak to the gems. Gents, we love you too, but right now I really want to help women because I have a friend who's hurting, who was dating someone that she met online. I can't even say they were dating. They hooked up. They started a sexual relationship. She asked him about going out on a real date, and he ghosted her. And I really want to punch him in the face for her. I really do, because she's such an amazing person. But I also had to hold the mirror up as her friend and say, ooh, sis, see, this is where you could have spent more time having real talks and conversations with this man, because you would have assessed he has no desire to date you. He has no intentions on taking you anywhere or getting to know you outside of, the construct of that relationship. So, Carl, I'm going to come to you first. What can women do to intentionally open their minds and close their legs just for a little bit.
The first thing is to stop FaceTiming the wrong head. That's gonna be the
I'm
best
gonna
advice.
throw my phone at you.
I'm gonna sip. I'm just gonna continue sipping what's in this cup.
And so yes, you got to stop FaceTiming the wrong head. You gotta seriously put that on the back burner. But this goes back to the first topic as I was talking. Y'all gonna be all right. When I said, you want to be penetrated, but you're being penetrated by the wrong head again. You want a man. I mean, I'm trying to keep this clean. You want a man who can speak to you in a way that opens up your body, your heart, not literally, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally, because he speaks to you. He speaks to your soul. You want a man that can make love to your soul without touching you. You want a man when he walks away from you, he's your man, and when he walks away from you, you desire him even more. You want a man who's willing to wait for you till you're ready. You want him to be able to sit back. He's not pressuring you. He's not pushing you. He's waiting for you to say, I'm ready. And even then, and I write about that in the book, literally having that when you meet a man who has control of his manhood, that every time y'all are together, he's not trying to get you in the bed. Every time y'all are together, he's not trying to pull your panties down. Every time we're not together, he's not pulling his drug. That's when you have a man that understands his value. That's a high value man. That's a man who understands and respects you, that he enjoys your company. He enjoys your presence. He misses you when he leaves you, but he doesn't miss you where he's like, oh man, I need to get you in the bed again. Or he misses you because you have touched his heart. See, that's the difference. That's when you're dealing with an emotionally self-aware man versus a guy that's like, if it, and again, I don't even see how you go on you hook up with a person, and it happens. I'm not saying it doesn't, but you hook up with somebody who won't even take you out of the house, won't present you out in the streets. He won't have you anywhere. Who wants to be with a man like that? Because that's his intention. His intention is get what he wants, and then he's going to be gone. And it's sad. And I want to punch the guy in the face too, Natima. So I'm with you. I don't value men like that because it's dangerous.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not healthy. It adds to the soul ties. It adds to other issues. All these different things. So yeah, I just this lady's just like I said, do a better job vetting the guy. And if he's
Thank you.
not willing to show you off, then you shouldn't show off your body.
That part. That all right. So I muted us because our computers were humming and we didn't want to disrupt your flow. We wanted everyone to be able to hear you clearly because I knew you were going to bring the heat. And that first one, can someone please drop that in the comments? We need that quote, Carl, the coach, because honey, stop FaceTiming the wrong head. Oh man, that's going to set somebody free. That's going to help somebody. So Mel, I want to come over to you. In providing some some guidance and some advice, and this is free, you can take it or leave it, but we just really want to help women from avoiding this mistake. It happens, we get it, but what are some things that we can do better, as Carl said, to vet? So go ahead, Mel.
Um, so I find it's Carl was talking about something. I find it so hilarious when you're saying about like a man that doesn't want to take you out of the house. And I'm like, I've talked to women and I know friends or associates who have had sexual relationships with men, and I ask them like the most basic questions, and they don't know. What's his last name?
Yeah.
You don't know. Where's he from? Did he go to college?
Right.
Where did he go to college?
Right.
What did he study? What does he do for a living? where does he work? It's just like, it's the most basic, like, I'm not even gonna say first date conversations. These are like before we go on a date,
right,
conversations.
right.
And I'm baffled that like they be oblivious. They don't have these answers. And so it makes me wonder, okay, what outside of you being set up on a blind date, right? What are the conversations you're having before the first date?
Right.
What are y'all talking about?
Right.
Y'all on here talking about some, oh girl, what's your favorite color? Like, what y'all talking about? Because I don't understand how you get to this point of an intimate relationship and don't know at the least, you don't know this man's last name. God forbid you sleep with this man and you get an STD or you get pregnant. Right. You don't even know how to find him because you don't know his last name. How? And so we have to be, women and men too, but like we need to be more conscious of the conversations we are having in the beginning. Because like Carl said, if you have these conversations, you'll learn very on what somebody's intentions are. 1. 2, people can only pretend but so long.
Yep.
I learned, I was watching something the other day and it gave me like, it was like such a light bulb for women. And it was literally talking about women giving men the blueprint in the handbook. Like we give men the blueprint of how to show up for us. So we're like, I like to get flowers on Tuesdays. So he sends you flowers on Tuesdays. I like a man that opens my door. So he opens your door. And so you've told him all these things that you like, and he just goes and does everything that you say. And then, as you say, it's like, bing, cookie door open, cookie door open. Because he's done everything, and you're in your mind have convinced yourself that, oh my God, he's so amazing. He's not. He could be, but he's probably not, because he's literally just doing everything you told him you like to do. Yep. And so now you've opened your sacred parts to him and let him in. And now once that happens, now 2 months later, a month later, the next day, whatever, he shows up as a completely different person. And then now he done stroked you down and you all like, oh my God. And so now all the red flags you'd have missed. They amber, they like, they're not really red, they fuchsia. They all these other shades because you've convinced yourself that it's not that because, oh, but at the first he showed up this way. He didn't. You didn't give him an opportunity to show up. You told him how to show up. Yep. And then the minute he had to show up as his authentic self, you got a real clear picture of it, but it was too late because you've already opened the cookie jar up for him. And so, you know, like Tim was saying, it's not about not opening it, but make sure that he genuinely put in the right combination code to unlock it.
That part.
Like, you know, and I'm not one of the people that be like 1 date, 2 dates, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Listen, it's different for everybody. It's whenever you feel like that's what y'all want to do.
Right.
But make sure whenever that's happening, it's happening because he's showed up in a way that like I said, punched the right code to open that up, and not something that you prematurely opened up for him.
Right.
Or gave him the code to open up, and now you're stuck in a position where it's like, oh, now what do I do?
Exactly.
And we for both men and women, you know, because if you get the right one and it's real good to you, you start overlooking stuff. And let's just be real. You start making excuses for stuff, you start justifying stuff, and then also once you've tapped into that part of your relationship, the conversation automatically changes. And so if you never go, if you haven't taken the time beforehand to ask all those preliminary questions, once you've taken that step, you're probably not going to go back to those beginner conversations because you've passed that part. You've passed kindergarten now. You're not going back to learn the ABC. Y'all on to division and multiplication. Yeah, you can go back to that. And so you miss it. And so now, even if y'all end up dealing with each other for an extended period of time, there are key things about this person that you never learned because you skipped all of that preliminary stuff and jumped into this intimate part of your relationship, which bypasses a lot. And that's just truth. You don't go back to that because you've opened up a space in your aura, in your energy, in your life, in your body that requires a different emotional, physical, mental attachment. So now your focus is shifted.
Yep.
You're not now going backwards to ask him these things.
Right.
You missed it because now you're on to something different. So we gotta really just be conscious of that and realize that sometimes it's us.
Yep.
Sometimes, part of my language, niggas ain't shit. Sometimes that's true, but sometimes it's us. We give the cheat codes away. We done gave the cliff notes out. We done gave the cheat sheet. We done gave all the answers to the test, and he passed all this stuff. And then the minute you were like, "Now take this on your own," he's clueless.
Right. He has no idea how to lead. Yep.
No idea. And now you're like, and you too far in. Because you already slept with this man. So now you don't want to break up with him because you don't want to add another, you don't want to increase your body count. Right. And I don't want to seem like a hoe. So now you sit in a situation that isn't healthy for you. And he could care less. Right. Because he's getting what he needs out of this situation. You didn't make him earn anything.
Nope.
He didn't have to show up. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to prove himself. And I don't mean prove himself in that, but he didn't have to earn you.
Right.
You came with a buy one, get one free coupon.
Right. Yep. He followed the dating itinerary.
You can be mad at him because you took advantage of the sale. You offered it.
Right. Exactly.
Yep. She turned the FaceTime button on. Yep.
That part.
The first time he sent you that D pic, you liked it. You hearted it. So he thought that was cool.
Yep.
Yep. So that's what you got. You stopped getting good morning, beautiful. How was your day? You stopped getting those because you now told him this was acceptable.
Exactly.
This was all I need.
That part.
Closing your legs. Yeah, closing your legs doesn't mean you can't be intimate with a man. It just means think first.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. Think about it first. Think first. We all grown enough to do grown things, but are we mature enough to do grown things? Because there is a huge difference. Being grown and being mature are not the same, and so that is the entire point. Mel just nailed it. Like, we're not saying don't enjoy yourself. Okay, you got needs, you have physical needs, but just think first. Think about having those conversations. Like Mel says, some of y'all don't even know his real name. You only know his Instagram handle. That's it. You got him in your phone. Okay, his Instagram handle, because you never got the brother's real name. So we just want to do better, ladies. We want to do better. But we are, of course, over time. I knew this was going to be the case, but I wanted to make sure that I provided enough time for Carl to really just give y'all these gems. I hope that you took something away from today's episode. I know I did, from both Mel and Carl. Very valuable. But we're going to move into our Here's a Gem, which is our final thoughts on the Hustle and Shine podcast. Before we do that, again, please go like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you go and follow Carl. Carl, you did have your handle up earlier. It looks like it got removed. So if you can let the people know how they can reach you.
They can reach my IG, Call the Coach, right on IG. That's the best way to do it. So on there. And then if they want to get the book, they can go to www.coachingwithcarl.com. And I still have some books and I ship out personally. I will autograph them and send it out to you.
True story. And you want to get the book. Not if they want it. You want to get the book. I'm telling you, you want to get the book. Make sure y'all do that. All right. So, Carl, I'm going to come to you first. If you can drop a gem for our gems and gents tonight.
I'm two quick things. One will be, ladies, understand this. When you become intimate with a man, watch how the conversation goes. After intimacy, the conversation should elevate. It should not be talking about the same thing anymore. It should shift to an our, we, us. Wow. And during that time period. So something to think about. But just overall, if you're going to date, do the work. Don't be ashamed of doing the work. Don't be ashamed of taking time to be by yourself in a real way. Don't be ashamed of taking yourself out on dates to figure out what you like, what you don't like by yourself, and just having a good time. Enjoy it. And then when you do get into dating, have fun. Stop having rigid rules and all these different standards of things that you got out here. Go and have fun. Literally, I went and I had fun and I met my future. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Go have fun. There's nothing wrong with that. And stop listening to these people on social media. I know we're on social media, it sounds like an oxymoron, but there's some of these people, they're about your pockets. That's all they want is your money. They want your clicks. They want your likes. They don't care if you end up in a healthy relationship or not. We're here for it because we understand healthy relationships build healthy marriages, which build healthy communities. And in our culture, we definitely need more of that.
Yes, that is so good, Carl. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that perspective. And you're right. We're on social media. We, are giving relationship advice, but like you said, the difference is there's no price tag attached. We're not asking you to send no money nowhere. We're not selling a ticket. We are giving this information for free because we really do care. We want to see things change for you, in you, and around you. And so that's why we do what we do. You don't have to take our advice either. You can leave it here. But if it's helpful and it resonates and you align with anything that's said, we do ask that you take it and implement it and make it a part of your best practices. Mel, I'm going to come to you for the final thought, or here's a gem.
I think I'm going to keep it real simple. Listen, we're all clear that there's pee in the dating pool. Just be sure you're not the one peeing in it. That's all I'm gonna say. Be sure you're not the one that's peeing in the pool that you're complaining about.
Yeah.
Which means get yourself together. Check yourself. Look in the mirror. Get yourself together. Figure out what you want, what you don't want, and figure out what you can and cannot bring to the table before you go out there and put those expectations on somebody else.
Yeah. That's so good. That is so good. Thank you so much, Mel. My co-host with the mostest. I literally my here's a gem has nothing to do with tonight's topic. They usually don't anymore. So I usually do pray and meditate about what I want to share earlier in the week. And one thing I just want to say to all of my gems and gents is be a little less selfish. I know we live in a time, in an era that perpetuates selfishness and being self-centered and all of those things. It's about you, but it's really not. Let's try to consider that there are others in this world, that there are other people around us and who are impacted by the way we behave, the way we raise our children, the way we don't raise our children, the things that we do and say. I witnessed something last week that really broke my heart. And I believe the mom just didn't realize there are other people that exist here on this planet. And so let's try to have some humanity. Let's try to give a damn about other people. You're going to need somebody one day, and how you treat people will eventually come back. You don't always reap where you've sown, but you will in fact reap. So definitely be mindful of other people. That's all I'm going to say. It's not just you out here driving. It's not just you out here grocery shopping. It's not your child only the one in school. So let's be thoughtful about how we interact with those around us. And so that is my gem for the night. I hope that resonated with someone, even if I can encourage one person to be a little less selfish next week or tomorrow. I have done my job. So again, this was another episode of Hustle and Shine. We greatly appreciate all of you, our gems and gents, for constantly coming back to this platform. Thank you for helping us to grow this vision. I know that we are not one of the massive popular ones, but what we say and what we share is valuable because we do it sincerely from the heart. We want to see you heal and we want to see you set free. So as always, come back to the same platform next Wednesday. Go tell a friend to tell a gem to meet us here on Wednesday at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. And until next time, continue to hustle and shine. Good night.
Let's go.